dailynews.com to get the local information you need to know.
Your friend in Central Illinois, WHOW.
It's the WHOW Morning Show. I'm your host today, Ben Hubbard. The WHOW Morning Show streams to Facebook and YouTube, brought to you by Peterson Insurance, your Pekin Insurance agent in Clinton. My guest in studio in this segment is Lincoln Police Chief Joe Meister. Chief Meister, how you doing today?
Good. Good morning.
Good.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, thank you so much for taking time for me. How's things been at the police department in the last couple weeks here?
Pretty good. Came to share some exciting news about our deflection initiative program. We launched on Tuesday afternoon, and we've already seen several referrals and having some success with the program. So very happy to report that.
Yeah, speak to the launching of that program. I know you had mentioned that it's had some great success super early on. Just speak to how we kind of got to the launching of this and where we're going.
Right. So years past, the Lincoln Police Department participated in a program that many municipalities participate in called Safe Passages. It relied heavily on law enforcement resources for people who are seeking drug and alcohol treatment. And basically we couldn't meet those needs. We couldn't afford to sacrifice an officer from the street to transport somebody to a treatment facility. It relied on the police to even find a bed in a facility for somebody. And we couldn't meet those needs. So that program ended in 2021. And this task deflection program was introduced to me by Don Cavey, who was the head of the Logan County Health Department at the time. And about a year and 4 months ago, we held our first planning session. We spent countless hours planning and implementing this program over the past year and 4 months. And Tuesday afternoon, finally all came together and we launched the program. It's designed to address the needs of those suffering from substance use disorder, mental health issues, and then also homelessness. That focuses mostly on the city of Lincoln, but it's a tri-county initiative. So Logan County, Mason County, and Menard County are all going to be affected by this, and it's going to be an option for law enforcement, first responders, and even business owners and the public to help get somebody that is suffering from one of those issues to the services that they need to improve their lives.
Gotcha. So you had mentioned that this is a focus in the city of Lincoln, but in this 3-county area, how are you collaborating or working with other police departments in this effort?
Right. So the next 2 Tuesdays, I'm going to travel over to Menard County and train law enforcement officers there about the program and share with them the Lincoln Police Department's way of doing a referral to get these people into services. Just help them get the wheels moving, so that they can also participate. And of course, in the future, plan to share that with Mason County as well if they want to listen.
Gotcha. Man, between Task and Dare, you're just kind of the gold standard for trainings, huh?
Yeah. We did have a big thing happen with Dare. A first ever for the Lincoln Police Department. So over the last 2 weeks, we held the Illinois Dare training officer program like we do every year. 19 officers from all over the Midwest graduated that program. And one of them, Deputy Justin Ice from Alexander County Sheriff's Department here in Illinois, proposed to his now fiance at the police station during Dare graduation. So
wow,
that was a first.
Yeah, that's interesting. Okay, well, maybe get a little bit more into Dare later if we have time to. But as we're talking about this the deflection program, I don't remember if it was last week or the week before, but we had Clinton Police Chief Ben Lowers in, and he was joined by Tristan McGrew. And you have a connection to McGrew and through this task deflection program. Let's talk about his role in all of this and how he works with the Lincoln Police Department.
Yeah, so Tristan, when we first started doing the implementation or the planning meetings, the first ones were held over in Petersburg, and I met Tristan there. He was a part of Logan Mason Rosk, the recovery oriented systems of care.
Nice.
back then, and he sat in on the planning meetings, and very soon thereafter decided, hey, you know what, this deflection stuff is what I want to do. So he got hired by Task and started working as a deflection specialist in this area here, even in DeWitt County, and then more toward Champaign. So he's been doing that for about a year and a half, and he was selected as the new supervisor for the bridge site. That's the acronym for our deflection initiative in Logan, Mason, and Menard. So Tristan is now supervising the specialists that serve our area.
Gotcha.
Pretty cool story. You know, Tristan and I, we grew up in the same area. We both played baseball and things, and we got to talking and found out that our lives were kind of interwoven, connected through some relatives of ours and friends of his. So small world stuff.
Yeah, that's Central Illinois for you, right?
Yeah, right.
Well, this task deflection program, you know, so you guys have just started it. Talk to me a little bit about growth. Where do you guys hope to get this to in the future?
Yeah, obviously, we hope to see more specialists employed in our area, because the more of them, the better chances to get people to the services that they need. Really, the specialists is the kind of the linchpin in this whole program. They remove the burden on law enforcement to get somebody to services. They are the people who do pretty much all the work for us, leaving us to do what we're designed to do, and that's enforce the law. So what I'd like to see is, from my department, I expect as many referrals as possible.
Yeah.
And that's kind of what the program is designed to do, is give us a third option, right? So before, when we went and dealt with a situation, we had the option to arrest somebody, do nothing, and that's it.
Yeah.
But now we have the option to deflect somebody. So if we're dealing with an issue, say a domestic violence issue, and the root cause of it is, you know, maybe one of the people in the relationship is drinking too much or using drugs.
Yeah.
But there's no reason to arrest them. You're just called there to help settle the dispute. Now we have that third option. We can offer a referral and hopefully prevent that next domestic violence issue from ever happening.
Definitely. What were some of the challenges that you guys came across as you were planning this program out?
Well, there are all kinds of challenges. So we had to, one of the big ones for the police department is figure out who is eligible for a referral. So this program relies upon voluntary participation.
Yeah.
So a person has to be willing to participate in it. And what's different about our program than any of the other sites in the state is that we offer an officer intervention pathway. And basically what that is we allow our police officers to make a determination using their discretion on crimes against society and hold a charge in abeyance. And what that looks like is maybe a minor drug possession charge or a paraphernalia charge. Instead of entering that person immediately into the criminal justice system by making an arrest, booking them, and charging them, we can hold that charge for a period of 90 days while the person participates in the deflection program, seeks services, and if the deflection specialist that's working with them determines that they've been successful in seeking treatment, then we can dismiss that, basically never file that charge, and give that person an opportunity not to have that black mark on their history, and you know, create barriers to employment and
definitely
all kinds of other things. So it's a unique thing, but it was a big challenge to plan how we could use that effectively.
Gotcha. What else did you guys come across through this planning process?
What do you mean by that?
Like, so the one of the big challenges was kind of defining it, right? What about, you know, finding that place for those people to go and kind of developing what the strategies are for getting people that help?
Sure. It's very important to understand that this was not just Task in the police department that designed this program. We had a ton, and I mean a ton, of community partners. There were meetings where we'd have 30 different agencies represented, especially early on. Faith groups, Memorial Behavioral Health and Memorial Hospital in Lincoln, the Pavilion, Chestnut Pavilion. Geez, who else? I don't know, but there's a ton of them, right?
Yeah.
So all these people came together to plan this. And what we noticed when we were doing those meetings is that we had more services available locally than what we really thought we did.
Yeah.
So getting those service providers connected with the task folks is basically how it all came together. Now the specialists know exactly what we have available locally. And then also, these are folks that have worked in other communities, the specialists are, so they know, hey, maybe nothing's available real close, but I can get you into some place, down in Jacksonville, they've got a treatment center. Maybe they got a bed down there, those kind of things.
Yeah. So you were surprised to see just how many resources there were in the community that could be utilized, but were you surprised to see the amount of people who were coming out just in support of the program and offering that helping hand to try and get things going with it?
Yeah, absolutely. And one of the big ones was the faith groups. So Open Arms Church from Lincoln, they were heavily represented during our meetings. The ROSC that I mentioned earlier, Logan Mason ROSC, we had a lot of people from there. There was one that I didn't even know existed, Family Guidance Center. I'd never even heard of them before, which is, I guess, not good for me to not know things like
for
that,
the police chief.
But it's the honest truth. I didn't even know that we had some of the resources that we did.
Yeah. Wow. So you guys got this going underway on Tuesday. In just these last couple of days, has there been anything that surprised you about the success of it?
Yeah. Obviously, I made it known to my staff, hey, I expect referrals, right? And they followed through with it. Within 12 hours, we had 4 referrals. And within 2 business hours of task being up and running in Lincoln, we had Tristan respond. And by 10 o'clock in the morning, he's out trying to make contact with the folks who've been referred.
Wow.
And that's probably the most special part about the program, is that these guys, the specialists, they're relentless. They don't just give up if they make a phone call and it goes unanswered for a participant. They'll come to the community, they'll knock on doors, they'll talk to people. Hey, where's the last time where'd you see John the last? That type of thing. And hunt them down.
Yeah. And I'm sure there's a lot of people who are referred or maybe referred who may not be emotionally ready to kind of take that step. So that persistence is a really important part of it.
Absolutely.
Chief, is there anything else on the task deflection program we didn't highlight today before we take a break?
No, we can, when we come back, we can share a little bit of contact information about it.
Yeah.
If you don't mind.
Yeah, absolutely. We'll take a quick break. More to come with Lincoln Police Chief Joe Meister on the WHOW Morning Show.
WHOW.
RFD Today on a Friday. I'm Jim Taylor. As crop farmers prepare to plant their corn, soybeans, or wheat in 2026, many are making decisions with the current farm economy in mind. Dave Parham, an economist for the American Farm Bureau Federation, says USDA economists revealed some key insights during the annual Outlook Forum.
USDA economists revealed last week at the Agricultural Outlook Forum that there's some modest shifts in crop planting for 2026. We are going to see some declines in corn acreage from the record high levels of 2025 and some increases in soybean acreage. Wheat acres kind of remaining steady.
USDA said planting decisions are being driven by commodity prices, input costs, and expected returns.
We're seeing lower crop prices and continued elevated production costs, which is going to affect profitability. On the other hand, we're seeing expanded domestic soybean crush capacity, which may be leading to some of that increase in soybean acreage. Overall, though,
when it comes to finding primary care, you can be seen at any doctor's office, but at Memorial Care, you're not just seen, you're heard. Our primary care team takes the time to listen to you, building a lasting relationship based on transparency and trust. So when you notice a change in your health, you've got a team that's ready to advocate for what you need. Memorial Care, Real care, real connections. Learn more at memorial.health/primary care.
The Illinois Corn Checkoff is proud to support Illinois FFA, providing meaningful experiences to apply their agricultural education in ways that impact our industry. From meetings with high-ranking officials to the vehicles that get them from point A to point B, the Corn Checkoff is investing in our future. Learn more about our strategic work to grow the next generation at ilcorn.org. That's ilcorn.org.
Your friend in Central Illinois, WHOW.
It's the WHOW Morning Show. I'm your host today, Ben Hubbard. The WHOW Morning Show streams to Facebook and YouTube, brought to you by Peterson Insurance, your Pekin Insurance agent in Clinton. We continue with my guest in studio in this segment, Lincoln Police Chief Joe Meister. And Chief, we were just covering the task deflection program, all that it has to offer, with the support for people who may be dealing with alcohol, drug, home issues, or homelessness. How do people get involved in that if they want to be referred for it?
Right. Obviously, they can come to the Lincoln Police Department or just call the non-emergency number, ask for a police officer to come meet them, and we can do a referral. It's a very simple thing to do. It only takes about a minute to offer a referral, and then within 24 hours, the deflection team will be reaching out to that individual who's been referred. People can learn more about it on the Bridge Facebook page. It's Bridge, Logan, Mason, Menard, I believe. Maybe not in that order, but you can find it on Facebook there. There's links to that on the Lincoln, Illinois Police Department Facebook page, and then also lincolnil.gov, and then navigate through the departments to the police department, and we'll be sharing things about the Bridge program on our website as well.
Awesome. And just to reiterate, it's not just, people referring themselves. You could refer a family member, or
you could, yes, but again, the participant has to be willing.
Of course.
So,
Yep.
Absolutely. If you feel that a family member may be in need, you call the police department, and we can get folks out there that way. But you can also go to task directly if you didn't want to deal with the police coming to your house, and maybe you think that may look bad for your neighbors or something like that. You can find information on doing a referral just by going to task.org.
Great. Awesome. Chief, I look at the clock. We've got 3 or 4 minutes to go here, and we're looking at some recapping stats from 2025 from the police department, some ups, some downs. Where are we at as far as those crime statistics for 2025?
Sure. So in 2024, it was 2025 when I shared the news with Seth, but I did some statistics in 2024, and we saw a sharp rise in property crimes, burglary, theft, issues like that, almost to the tune of 50%, a little over 50%. But luckily and happily this year, we can report that the city of Lincoln saw about an 18% decrease in burglaries and a 13% decrease in thefts. We also saw a rise in the number of arrests by a little over 16%. So we're out there, we're still working, we're catching them, even though the Safety Act is letting them go. And we're going to continue to do that in perpetuity.
Yeah. So when you talk about those stats, is that something that you feel like you can perceive that change, that 15-16% change and the amount of arrests, and also in like the amount of burglaries and things like you mentioned?
Absolutely. Well, from our perspective, we sure can, because we're the ones out there taking the reports. So we know how much paper we're pushing.
Yeah, right.
But it does show that the Lincoln Police Department is still committed to doing what we're designed to do, even though we're facing the challenges that the legislature kind of threw at us. And we're going to continue to do that. Another thing is traffic enforcement. Traffic enforcement went up almost 44% in 2025. And that's due to the fact that we're finally fully staffed again. Some of the things that traditionally we would have done, like traffic enforcement, definitely decreased when we aren't fully staffed, because the number of officers we have available was a lot lower.
Yeah.
And those guys were busy dealing with calls for service, which is, our bread and butter. But when somebody calls 911 and says they need help, we have to show up.
Yeah.
And when we're there, we're definitely not making traffic stops.
Yeah. So being fully staffed, that's somewhat of a recent development for you guys, right?
Yeah. Just over the last few months, we've met full staffing, and it's a blessing.
Yeah,
Let me tell
right.
you, especially after years. We were looking at almost 5 years being very, very short staffed, and it was getting to be hard on the guys and gals that are working the streets and answering the calls, all the mandatory overtime and things like that. So it's a blessing for not just me, but for each and every one of our police officers.
Yeah. So that's had an impact on the amount of traffic stops that you guys are able to do. I'm sure that also is part of that increase in arrests, having more officers out there. But are there any other things that you've noticed, any changes from the department now that you guys are up to snuff as far as staffing?
Absolutely. The morale went up.
Yeah,
big
definitely.
time. People aren't as tired. They're more focused. They do a better job at their assignments when they're not overloaded. It can become a burden when you have too much to do.
Yeah. What are some of the things that may fall to the wayside if you guys don't have that blessing that you have now with staffing?
Oh, well, obviously traffic enforcement.
Yeah.
Your selective, proactive enforcement stuff.
Yeah.
Is the first thing to go. There were times where we were in danger of losing our school resource officers.
Wow.
Because they would be needed on the streets, and that was one of the most important dangers of short staffing.
100%.
We need those cops in the schools, building relationships with the kids and making sure everybody's safe there. So. It's a great thing to finally be fully staffed.
Definitely. Knock on wood, things stay that way for you, Chief. Yeah. As we wrap things up here, where's the best place for everyone to find out about the Lincoln Police Department?
I'm not a Facebook guy, but I know a lot of people out there are. So obviously we're on Facebook, Lincoln, Illinois Police Department. And then the city website, lincolnil.gov. Again, you can navigate. There's a departments tab, and then scroll down to the police department. That's where we post things like our statistical reports monthly, and you can find information about the police department and different contact information for each division.
Again, that is Lincoln Police Chief Joe Meister on the WHOW Morning Show.
The Big 1520 WHOW Clinton, along with